Operation Warfare Eject.
Here we go! Yeah! Yeah!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the FTW Future Focus. I am your host, the Mastermind Bob Rogers, and with me, we got the fearsome foursome today. Just want to say real quick, Tony, happy birthday! He's out celebrating. He went to Colts mini camp. Watched them. His wife is taking him all over the place, doing things for his birthday. So hey, bruh, happy birthday! Be cool and have fun. Eat some cake.
I can't.
That's all I'm gonna say on that one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, with this down below me, he is the quiet type. But he's an encyclopedia of wrestling. The man knows what he's talking about when he does say something, and also his eyes bucked out just like mine did when we learned something earlier today. Marvelous Marcus Buckley. Marvelous, what's up?
What's up? I think we got to cancel this show and go back to what we talking about earlier. That's more interesting.
I'm really considering the content we should have today.
Yeah. Good, man.
Oh, dear Lord.
Also, to my bottom right, she is the one. She is the only queen of FTW. She comes from Chicago, Illinois. She is a former ballet. She watches wrestling. She's got a baby face, but an old school vibe. She is the nature girl, Nicole. Nicole, what's up?
Hi. And I vote no for continuing the conversation we had earlier.
I second that. Oh.
Speaking of... oh, my God.
And no, this is not Mr. Bigglesworth. This is Prince. And he's just making a small cameo.
Well, with more of the revolution, we go to the next guy. He is from Bloomfield, Indiana. He gets all Fight TV, IWTV, and also cable TV that you can't afford. The man has announced many type of matches. He has been all over the place. He is my Ace Coon Boom, my partner in crime, vice president of the Future Talent Wrestling Network, and also your Not So Humble Correspondent, Robert Black. Mr. Black, how you doing?
I am fine. I had a rough week last week, which is why I wasn't here. And I was also doing something for my church. It was kind of hectic, so I didn't make it in last week, but I'm here tonight.
That's right. How did everything go at church?
It went just fine. It was, there were about 15 people in the talent show. Point of correction, though, I wasn't organizing it. I was just involved in it. The church organized it, and the lady who plays the organ for them, both of them actually, they organized it really well, and it went off pretty good. So, it was all good.
So I'm wondering, was there any Snoop Dogg numbers in the church? No, I'm just kidding.
There was one, but it didn't make the church's video.
Oh.
It was one of the racier ones, and so they didn't want to show it on the website.
Oh, I got you. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, while we're behind the 8-ball, we're gonna go.
We're not doing that.
Thank you for joining us here on FTW Future Focus. It's been a short show, but a fun one. My God, we're going to get canceled. Okay. Continuing.
Yeah.
I know these viewers are like, what the heck are they talking about? You don't want to know.
No, don't ask.
No, for God's no.
Oh, but seriously,
you'll need to gargle holy water if you never mind.
Yeah, splash it all up.
Nope.
Yeah, bathe in it.
Yeah. I would burn. I would definitely burn. But
Yeah.
But,
Okay,
Number
Bobby,
one.
what is on our agenda?
Yeah.
the first thing on our agenda, we talk is the one-on-one. The second part of one-on-one is going to be delayed probably for a couple of weeks because Chris is out. So we're going to go to the first part of the one-on-one. It is Ring of Honor, Desperate before Dishonor taking on SummerSlam. It was very interesting on these cards, but we want to see who came out on top between these two shows. So I have the results here of each match. We put the lower now just for everybody's sake. WWE SummerSlam did have 8 matches versus Ring of Honor 7. So we dropped the lowest one out of WWE and then matched up the other 7.
Mhm.
The lowest match for the WWE was, of course, no, not Brock Lesnar. It was actually Liv Morgan and Ronda Rousey. So
Easy pick.
yeah, they're not in the contest. They had the lowest score out of WWE, so we kicked them out like a football in Colts camp. Now, the first matchup we're going to talk about is the Righteous versus Dalton Castle and the boys on the Ring of Honor side with a score of 2.66. Taking on the Judgment Day versus the Mysterios with a 2.1 score. Rob, go ahead and go first.
Okay, well, out of these two matches, I will probably have to go with Mysterio and Judgment Day, mainly because I've seen Dalton Castle's act before, and basically I was more familiar with the Mysterios and Judgment Day, and they worked a tighter match, and Ray can still go, whereas there was just kind of a lot of chaos and confusion in the World Six-Man Tag match. So I'm gonna have to give this one to Mysterio and Judgment Day just based on that factor.
Marcus.
I'm also going to go with Judgment Day and Mysterios, basically because neither match was horrible, but for me, a tiebreaker goes to Edge's comeback. That interest was cool as hell, so that's why I give it the tiebreaker just based on that.
The Queen.
Edge saved that match for me. Edge coming out saved the whole thing. The worst part, I can't even say the Dalton Castle match because I don't remember it. Nothing good for me happened during that match. So I'm going to just go with the Mysterios and Edge versus Judgment Day.
Well, let me be the only to say something different. I did enjoy that Dalton Castle and the boys match. I didn't like the Righteous. I thought the Righteous was terrible. I think if they had some better opponents, it would have been a better match. It would have ranked higher.
Okay.
The reason I can't vote for Judgment Day and Mysterios is because I've seen it so many times. It gets on my nerves. It's like watching MASH. You know, I mean, I've seen it 30 times before. Nothing else you're doing is different. I thought the Triple H regime would have had something thrown in there, and it didn't in that match. I think he's just saying, "Well, Ray, I know you got your son here. Let you do what you do." You know what I mean? But something got to give in this one. I'm tired of seeing it.
He was the weakest link in the whole match. Dominic was the weakest link.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I was waiting on the girl to come out and say goodbye.
I thought Rhea was just going to destroy that pole, baby. But
oh my God! But he was the luckiest man on earth having Rhea handle him like that.
Oh, and she knows it too because I saw her on TikTok going, "Yes, I know. Yes, he's a lucky man. Yes, and so was my boyfriend. Yes."
Yes. me and Buddy Murphy will be fighting right now.
It's been people have been talking about that so much. WWE had to retweet the video and everybody's comments going, "He's a lucky man. He's a lucky man. He's a lucky man."
It's the truth. Did you see the scissor headlock she put on him?
Yeah.
I was like, he's the only one not fazed by it.
Yeah, that's how you know he's young. He's like, okay, that was cool. You know what you was just in, dude?
Like there was girls going, I don't even like girls, but I would like to do that.
And I would like to watch it. Anyway.
Oh, good Lord.
Nasty.
Thank you for joining us this week. Oh, boy.
I'm just being honest.
I know. Rhea Ripley is a excellent looking woman, I have to admit.
But see, she can also wrestle. That's what I got.
Well, yeah, she's she's lovely and talented, and that's a very good combination.
Oh yeah, but the thing that makes me mad is we've seen this so many times. So,
I'm not. Well, see, that's the problem. We'll go on, and at the end of the analysis, I'll give that.
Yeah, because we can almost say that about the whole card, actually.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to the second match.
Got it.
Okay, and I was mispronouncing it last time. It's Roosh.
Yes.
Takes on Dragon Lee, his brother. That had a 3.3 rating. And then one that was going against him for the WWE side was Logan Paul and The Miz. Nicole, go first.
I didn't like either one of them. I'll go with the Logan Paul one. I didn't particularly care for either match, but I'm still trying to figure out how the hell Logan Paul beat The Miz with Miz's own move.
Because Miz is a chump. I mean, just straight up.
That must have been a nice bonus check.
No, he shouldn't even got
That
paid.
he got.
He shouldn't even get paid for being in the ring right now, to tell you the truth.
I'll tell you one thing. Whoever Maurice uses for her clothing tape that kept all of that together, I need her to give me that number because that stuff held perfectly. Whatever she used, I need to get that. So, because that outfit was really cute, and I'm like, how the hell she?
Well, the WWE has an extensive costume department. I'm sure if you contact them. Yeah.
Rob.
Oh, God almighty. Definitely the Roosh and definitely the ROH match. Because there's no... Yeah. The Logan Paul Miz match was a well-trained rookie versus a guy that's been there for a long time, and neither one of them, to me, got over. Logan Paul nearly killed himself and The Miz with that table spot. I mean, I understand that they're getting better with training these celebrities to become wrestlers, but they're still celebrities and they're taking up spots that should be given to wrestlers. I mean, I would have rather have seen Ricochet in this feud. Why the hell we needed to have Logan Paul continue feuding with The Miz after WrestleMania is a mystery to me. So the ROH gets this one.
We know why Logan Paul is there.
Absolutely.
Marcus.
Oh, definitely the ROH match without question. I actually enjoyed the Roosh match. The reason I liked it was, for once, this was like one of the only matches on the card where they had outside action on the floor, and that's so refreshing to see that every damn match. Don't have a guy jumping over the rope or off the top rope. I mean, their outside the ring spots were well timed, and they looked like they were stiff. Actually, the way they hit the floor was pretty good. And once again, this is, as we talked about last week, here's a guy that's inexperienced doing a spot that he shouldn't be doing again. And that match was a mess. You know, I would have thought that The Miz could have led him better than that. But again, that match was all over the place. So the ROH match for me definitely gets this one.
And of course, for me, it's going to be the ROH match. And this is going to sound so messed up when I say this. Let me get adjusted here to see. It wasn't even Logan Paul that made me go with the ROH match. It was The Miz. Logan Paul impressed me. I got to give him his props. Right. You know, this dude, how you going to out-wrestle your teacher? I mean, this dude is clowning.
Say it again.
How are you gonna out wrestle your teacher? Well, Logan Paul, the Miz should be just. The Miz should go ahead, go back home, star on his sitcom, and be punked out like Maurice does every single week. Because my thing is, how in the heck can you be a pro wrestler but Maurice punks you out every week on TV? Straight punks him out. But I love Maurice. I'd have told that girl to hit the bricks a long time ago. Take you and your plastic back to the factory.
Well, okay, to be fair, I don't think that The Miz was the only person that trained Logan Paul. I'm hoping that he has...
Not.
Well, no, I mean, I'm hoping that he's been to the Performance Center, and it looks like he has, and that's fine with me. It's just... I am sick and tired of celebrity involvement in professional wrestling, especially when it's long term. That is one of my big pet peeves. So, it's not that Logan Paul didn't do a passable job. It's just he's a rookie. He shouldn't be doing dives onto tables like that. And that spot could have been easily taken up by somebody that's been working for the company for much longer and isn't there because they have a damn YouTube channel.
But that's exactly why he's there.
I
Because whether we like it or
know.
not, it's a wrestling business. In order to generate money to keep your business going, you got to put popular things in front of your company. And unfortunately, he's very popular in the format that he chooses to be in. And he's generating more eyes onto WWE. Whether we like it or not, he's bringing in more people that would never have watched before.
But does it though? But does it though? The Jackass match, for example, did that match put one ass in one seat for either the movie or for WrestleMania itself?
Let me take this one.
Probably did.
Let me take this one. No, I will agree with you on that. But that's the difference between Logan Paul and you talk about Jackass.
Mm-hmm.
Jackass #1 was popular in the 90s.
I would say, yeah, that's back.
Jackass was from way back, and they came out with a new movie. Oh, say let's put them on. Now I will give it to you. What's her name's Handmaid? They made his growing up debut. I love that all day long. We'll give that props. But other than that, the rest you don't know about the Hand, Nicole.
Wait, what are we talking about now?
I said the only thing that was good out that match was the Hand that made his grown-up debut.
You talking about the Mae Young Hand thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about that no more. I'm done with that one. Nope.
Oh God.
But Logan Paul will put a lot more people's eyes on him because we have an individual doing social networking like that. People tend to follow whatever they do and watch it like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So the trend is kind of different.
It's all about trending.
And this is what's kind of a shame if you think about it. Logan Paul has more viewers than SmackDown, Raw, and AEW Dynamite combined, and Rampage. He's got more viewers than all the wrestling shows combined, major wrestling shows combined. So yeah, they're gonna put him on there so they can get those extra viewers on there. Because I can guarantee you, maybe a third of the wrestling audience might watch Logan Paul, maybe a third. So he's getting not only he bringing them in, he's gaining viewers too. It's a money exchange thing.
Yep.
So yeah,
look, his YouTube channel has over 4 million subscribers right now, and all he does is do a podcast.
Yeah.
So,
I would need to see the ratings for the proof of this.
His interview with Triple H was 1 hour and 15 minutes. That had released 5 days ago. 2 million views in 5 days.
Okay.
He's bringing eyes to the product. That's their marketing machine right there. They can fire everybody in Titan Towers right now.
It just rubs me raw. It just rubs me the wrong way, guys. That's all I'm saying.
Oh no, it puts you behind the 8 ball too. But we're gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna have fun with this. I'm gonna teach y'all.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't even want to think about how uncomfortable that just made my insides right now. And I play pool, so I don't want to
Quarter
think
pocket,
about
brother. Quarter pocket. Anyway, match number 3. We got on ROH Claudio and Jonathan Gresham.
Mm-hmm.
And on the WWE side, oh, this is surprising. Claudio and Gresham had a rating of 3.41. Reigns versus Lesnar is what they're going against, and that had a rating of 2.5.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Rob, I think I know where you're going with this, but go ahead and tell us.
I barely have to say it. Claudio Gresham by 2 country miles. There's no comparison between these 2 matches. One of them was absolute art, and the other was like Picasso squatting over a desk. Just no, there's no comparison between these 2, and that's the only comparison I can make. I'm sorry, no. One of those was bowling shoe ugly, and the other was beautiful. So, yeah, Claudio and Gresham all day long.
Marcus.
Well, I mean, it's really no comparison. Claudio's match, I was happy he finally got his moment. We've seen Brock and Roman so many times. I mean, only thing different about the match was, of course, the ring spot with the bulldozer. I think the Claudio match could have even been better if Grissom had melded in. I mean, his performance wasn't bad, but we all know the backstory about what he was going through and everything. So the match probably could have even been better if Grissom was in an I give a fuck mood, to put on a better show. But the match itself was still decent, so I'm going with the Claudio Grissom match.
Nicole.
I have to go with Claudio's match because I'm just a fan of his. The only good things about the Lesnar Reigns match was the entrance for Brock. Well, the 2 entrances that he had, because he had 2 different entrances. Those 2, the mic toss, and moving the ring. Oh, and Paul Heyman taking an F5 into the table and then being dead for like the next 15 minutes. That was good. He sold that like a
It's Heyman.
dynamo.
Yeah.
It's Heyman,
Mm-hmm.
All right, my pick, of course, is going to be Ring of Honor. It's just no question on that one. I mean, and Marcus brought up a very good point that I was going to make. Gresham really didn't even wrestle this match. He was pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
And it was still good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Imagine if this dude was on his game. He would have came out with the octopus face and the flag and the jacket and came out there and clown. Tony Khan, you screwed up. I've tried to defend you so many times. But I'm sorry, you've proven my boy Marcus right here.
Mm-hmm.
That is one dude you do not get rid of is Jonathan Gresham.
So, do you think that Claudio's title reign is now tainted because of how it started?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
That's the same.
Because guess, in my opinion, I said this last week, I don't think Claudio should have won that match. If you are Claudio should, and hear my reasons for this, Nicole, because we got a little bit of time since we got less people.
Okay.
Let me give you my reasoning on this. We're talking about the Ring of Honor title, okay?
Yeah.
Claudio came from WWE. I don't think Claudio should be wrestling for a title on a lower tier such as that. He should have got one of the AEW titles. That All Atlantic title, that's what he should have won. I would have gave him the All Atlantic title. I would even put him over Wardlow. Because he is more technically sound, and I understand Wardlow just got the belt, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, Wardlow!" But if you look at it in a business mind, I'm sorry, he should have went over Wardlow. You know,
I can't agree. I can't agree with you that.
I know you couldn't, but my
And I'll tell. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But Jonathan Gresham is a technical genius. That man is a black Tully Blanchard. You know, this man just got skills. If we ever have a live show, I'm getting Jonathan Gresham. Period. Because the man. I'm not saying this because I'm a big Jonathan Gresham fan, because I do think he needs more personality. But I think his wrestling prowess alone, his technical skill alone, can carry him to be a champion that should get attention. And they took all that attention away from when they just gave it to Claudio like that.
Bobby, I agree with you up to a point. I think that Jonathan Gresham is pretty close to the Ray Stevens of our time. And that's a hefty compliment. However, I don't think that it taints Claudio because it wasn't his decision. He was just part of the match, and this is all on Tony Khan. And I think Marcus will agree that Tony Khan makes some hefty mistakes, and I would definitely agree with that. But I'm not going to say that it taints Claudio. It just puts him. He's just part of a bad situation that started bad, and considering the title defense that he had on Rampage, that kind of cleans the slate for me. Gresham is about to become the Emerge champion because he won the top contendership for that at the Ric Flair's last match pay-per-view. So he's going on to something. So and he's going to be a big hit on the indie circuit. So there's a lot more options for Jonathan Gresham, and considering how talented he is, he's going to get plenty of attention.
Yeah, and I just want backtrack a little
bit. Go ahead, Marcus. Go ahead. Sorry.
I don't even think that Claudio should went over more so than Wardlow, because in all honesty, Claudio doesn't even need a title right now. I mean, he's so over right now. He can ride this momentum next for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Whereas Wardlow, I mean, he's a world champion in the making. Next year and a half. Well, damn, I shouldn't say it, but if Tony Khan don't screw this up, which we all know is quite likely, he should be the champion within the next year and a half. So him getting that TNT title is the next progression in his push. So he absolutely needed this title reign more than Claudio. Claudio doesn't need any belt at all right now.
I'm going to make a prediction right here. Y'all going to be shocked when I say this. Wardlow's not going to be with AEW after his contract's up.
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah, I can see that.
He's going to WWE.
Well, he is the kind of guy they would want.
MJF and Wardlow will be at WWE.
I would bet Wardlow before MJF.
No, MJF's never going.
MJF wanted to go there when Vince was there.
Yeah, I'm not convinced about MJF. I'm saying
okay, but think about this, okay? And hold on, let's come back to this after we get through with everything.
Okay.
Because
and Gresham is Progress.
Progress. Okay. That was my bad. I said the wrong organization.
Yeah. Emerge is cool though. I love Emerge.
Mm-hmm.
Donnie Idol, if you watching, what's up, bro? Emerge is the band. All right, next matchup. Wheeler Yuta taking on Daniel Garcia with a score of 3.8. And on the WWE side was Pat McAfee and Happy Corbin with a score of 2.65. 2.625, excuse me. Yeah, it was that big of a difference.
Yeah.
I'll go first on this one. Actually, I'm gonna give this to McAfee.
What?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't expect that one.
Yeah, but yeah.
Even though I like Yuta, I like the match between Yuta and Daniel Garcia. McAfee just took it to another level that just impressed the hell out of me. McAfee's doing it. I mean, I'm sorry. I got to give that to McAfee. Marcus, go ahead.
Well, I'm going with Yuta Garcia match. I mean, it was again class. It started off kind of slow, like most old school pure wrestling matches, but it definitely picked up. They got it going, and it was just good to see some in-ring wrestling for once.
Yeah.
McAfee again, my opinion, was doing stuff that he shouldn't have been doing. I mean, I'm gonna go with your expertise, Bobby, and I know you stated last week that maybe the ring ropes were wet and things like that. So I'm going to defer to you on that and not count that against him. But at the same time, there were still spots he shouldn't have been doing with his level of experience. So I'm definitely going with the Yuta match. I that's one of the matches I enjoy more on that card.
Nicole.
I'll go with Pat McAfee match, even though, like you said, there was some things he had no business doing, like the whole "let's go off the top rope." You can tell that rope had some moisture on it because it was humid as hell out there. They were in Tennessee at the end of July, so you got all that heat with the humidity, and it was daylight, almost kind of like nighttime. So he had no business being on that top rope at that time, but you could tell.
And to add, you're on Titans Field where everybody gets hurt. Just saying. Think about how many injuries happen on Titans Field.
I have nothing to say on that one. I'm gonna leave that alone. Because it's not as bad as the Jaguars. Anyway.
Oh! Shots
But anyway,
fired.
anyway, as my girls say, anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Pat. Because even though he did things he wasn't supposed to be doing, he still impressed me.
True.
And that choir.
That was funny.
Got me with the choir.
That was
Got
funny.
me with the choir. He sold me when he had the choir.
Rob, go ahead.
Sorry, Rob.
Yuta Garcia by a mile. There is just no comparison between the two. Number one, Corbin sucks. The gimmick that he has destroys and overshadows any ability that he has in the ring. The gimmick has been annoying since it started, and he's been in like 3 or 4 annoying gimmicks, and whoever he gets into the ring with suffers because of it. McAfee, again, I appreciate the fact that the guy actually took the time to train and he didn't just waltz in off the football field and say, "Hey, I'm a wrestler now, deal with it." Okay, I respect that much. But Yuta and Garcia had one of the most beautiful technical wrestling matches of this year. And that versus a guy who nearly fell off the top rope twice. And I'm not saying that you're wrong and that the ropes weren't wet, but he shouldn't have gone up there in the first place because he's only had 3, maybe 4 matches in his whole life. No, I'm sorry, Yuta and Garcia. Even though it was more meat and potatoes than what we're used to, it was damn good, delicious meat and potatoes. I would eat that meal all day long. I'm amazed.
You know what? I kind of see where you're going. You're saying it's either technicality versus the spectacular thing. Do you prefer spectacular, or do you want technical stuff? That's where we're splitting on.
And see, I think he's shocked by me saying McAfee because I'm usually the guy that loves technical.
Right. That's what you
Yeah.
kind of.
That
I did love the Yuta match, but it's just something about when McAfee's out there and he does what he does, it just shocks the hell out of me. It's like, why could I be good as you on my first 4 matches? You know, I gotta give him respect. I gotta give him respect.
And I get that. It's okay. I'm not disagreeing with that. The part that I'm disagreeing with is that, and to answer Nicole's question as well, it's not that I don't want my matches to be flashy. It's just that I want them to be flashy in the context of a good match. And McAfee and Corbin can't deliver that. A good lucha match with people flying all over the place and knowing what they're doing, that's the kind of flash that I want to see. Guys who have only been in the business for 4 matches and nearly falling off of the ropes twice before they get the high spot in, and the chorus, no, that's flashy in the wrong way. It's a distraction. It's carny. It's too much of those things for my liking. It's too gobbledygooker.
Which exactly is WWE.
That's why I'm an AEW fan.
They like the corny, but they also like, hey, we got some real wrestlers here, but we also want to entertain you as well. So we got some wrestlers here. We're going to show you all the wrestling, but at the same time, we're going to have a bunch of guys standing on top of the ring singing bum ass Corbin. But the next match, we got you. But this is for the people who aren't fans of wrestling. We got something for them too.
I understand that. It's just that after 20 years of that being in the monopoly and controlling the entire industry, I'm ready for stuff like Yuta Garcia.
But there's always been other options, though. We can't say it's only been WWE for the past 20 years. We've always had other options.
That's true. That's true, but there's a difference between a industry having absolute positive control like AT&T and a company that only has like technical control but has the ability to stretch the market to where there's nobody else that can compete, like Microsoft. And that's what WWE had for from 2001 to 2018. They had a Microsoft monopoly on the wrestling industry. That's why they said sports entertainment and stopped saying professional wrestling, because they didn't want to get into trouble with antitrust laws. Because
I'm sorry, go ahead, Rob.
Oh, okay, but that I understand what you're saying, that that WWE is more of a variety show than a professional wrestling exhibition per se, but that's what turned people off for so long.
Right.
True. That's true.
That's what I was going to say, but yeah.
All right, let's go to the next match because now I'm feeling bad about my vote.
Don't do that. I wasn't trying to make you feel bad about your vote. I was just explaining mine. You guys are not wrong. It's just it's me. I'm insane about sports entertainment being not my thing. So, and it makes my skin crawl when I see those things. But it's me. It's me, guys.
Okay.
Continue on.
Next matchup. ROH, Mercedes Martinez taking on Serena Deeb. And on the WWE side, Serena Deeb and Mercedes Martinez had a score of 3.83.
Mm-hmm.
Lastly, in theory, a 2.9. So, Marcus, go ahead, go first.
Well, it's no secret how I feel about women's wrestling. in general. But
We're gonna cover that side of the screen.
yeah, but I'm gonna tell you, this was actually one of the matches I was looking forward to. Especially for a women's match. I mean, both of these women are badasses, and they definitely put on a technically sound match. I mean, I enjoyed watching it. And Theory and Lashley, again, we just seen it. I mean, that was a throwaway match for what was to come later on that night. We all knew that we all pretty much knew what we wanted. So the ladies match definitely gets this one for me.
Nicole.
Okay, Marcus actually enjoyed a women's wrestling match. What? How? What? How?
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah,
They had to been Dynamo if he enjoyed it. So
Oh, yeah.
of course
Oh,
I'm gonna go with the ladies.
Yeah.
Because that little, like you said, that was just a whole warm up for Theory, so he can prepare to get run in and get his behind beat by Lesnar and Reigns for trying to cash in on them. So that was just like a little warm up, so that way Theory wasn't rusty when he ran out there. So yeah, that was. I don't even count that as a match. I can't even count that. So I'm just gonna go with the women because they just killed it.
Rob.
Okay. We're starting to get into the better territories of SummerSlam here. I'm definitely picking Serena Deeb and Martinez because we have seen Theory versus Lashley before. And though they have a good match, we've seen that match before. So I got to give it to Mercedes and Serena because they kicked it up a couple of notches and they had a damn strong match together and they complement each other very well as tag partners and opponents. So I got to give it to the ROH women's title match.
All right, my pick on this one. Man, it is no question. Mercedes Martinez and Serena Deeb. I mean, they put on a clinic. This was a clinic. This was such a good clinic. I think the Republicans were trying to close it down. I mean, this was good.
Man.
I mean, hey, this was good. I mean, it was fire. I mean, what more could you want? There was a couple of things I think they could have did better in that match, but overall, I was drooling at the mouth watching this. I love women's wrestling. I love watching the women go at it, and especially if they're as technically sound as this, I definitely like watched it. And this was a good example of what women's wrestling could be if they get the bimbos out of there.
Well, Laurinaitis is gone, so what else do you need?
Well, you still got Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying all of his choices are bad. Some of his choices are bad.
Some of Omega's choices are bad.
I know I'm gonna hear it about the Yoshi's Rob, but I'm sorry. A 98-pound girl should not be
There we go.
A 200-pound chick.
Okay, Bobby, could you believably see Kofi Kingston beating Brock Lesnar?
Yes.
Then why can't you see Riho beating Nyla Rose? Because that's essentially the same thing.
Hold on. No, it ain't. Let me show you why.
Okay.
I don't mean this in a derogatory way when I say this, so please, LBT.
Don't
go there about what I'm saying. Don't go there about what I'm saying, because I'm a supporter. I'm saying this in a phrase, okay? I'm saying this in a phrase, all right? I think Nyla Rose has more balls than fucking Brock Lesnar. If Jim Cornette almost whoops your ass, I'm sorry. You shouldn't be winning anything in my book. I don't care how big you are.
To be fair, Jim Cornette was going to pull a gun on the man because he purposely got a handful of his future wife's private parts.
Right. But
He
I'm
didn't
sorry, you're
beat
the
up
beast.
Lesnar. He threatened him with a gun.
But he's the beast.
I know that,
He
but
shouldn't give- if it's not an elephant gun, he shouldn't worry about it.
so is Nyla Rose, though.
There you
And,
go.
but yeah,
And I
but
can see her whooping more dudes behind than him.
uh,
She's more believable. She Nyla Rose remind me of somebody out of the hood.
yeah,
Nyla
I
Rose
understand.
reminds me of somebody that I can see on the street. That somebody gets smart with her, she is gonna whoop their ass.
Yeah,
Brock
Yeah,
Lesnar
she's a
look like
chick.
he's gonna call the police.
I wonder where is she from? Because she just reminds me like a.
I'm sorry, I see that in Brock Lesnar. I see the bitch mode in Brock Lesnar. I do. I'm sorry.
Wait,
He's
Wait.
got bitch mode all up in him.
so are you saying Nyla Rose can beat up Brock Lesnar? Where are we going? I'm confused.
Yes, yes. I think Nyla Rose could beat up Brock Lesnar.
Oh. Look, Mark is like, what?
And everybody's gonna look at me like I'm crazy. They gonna watch
I'm
this
just,
and say, huh?
I'm just like,
I need some.
I think
mean-
Nyla Rose could whoop Brock Lesnar all up and down the block. I'm sorry. Nyla Rose, she just reminded me of a girl from the hood that would get with you. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Marcus, don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about. You over there smiling. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You know it's them girls that's in the hood that sit up there, they got their nails done, they got their hair done, they do whatever. But you get on their bad side or you say the wrong thing and they are mopping you up and down the street like you got mopping glow on your back.
The earrings
That's what
come
Nyla Rose
off.
remind me of.
That ponytail coming down.
Some of them don't care about the ponytail. They gonna leave it in there and whoop you.
Ooh, with the blade underneath their tongue.
There you
Like how
go.
we used to
That's
rock
what
back in
Nyla
the
Rose remind me of. That's exactly what Nyla Rose remind me of.
With
Brock
the razor
Lesnar-
blade under the tongue.
Brock Lesnar comes to the country, he gonna call the police. Sheriff, this girl out here trying to whoop my behind, and I can't get a tractor to lift her up either.
oh God.
I'm sorry.
Wait,
Nyla
is Nyla
Rose is
and
more
Rumble at the
believable to
same
me.
time?
Nyla Rose is believable to me, more believable to me as a fighter than Brock Lesnar.
oh come on, G. All right, come
Okay.
If you talk about street fight, I'm sorry, I'm picking Nyla.
What's in your water?
on. Okay, come
Too
on.
late.
Oh, now come on. Bobby's entitled to his opinion here.
But and my thing is this: everybody want to say, "Well, look what he did to UFC." That was set up. You talk about the biggest. You talk about the biggest game that was on earth to fool people and get their money. You thought wrestling was a game? That UFC run was the biggest game there was.
Oh, he said UFC is fixed. Oh.
It is.
Yeah.
UFC has been fixed when they see. This is what they do, and they're smart. I can't say Dana White is stupid at all. Dana White is one of the smartest ones on this earth. But he mixes real fights in with setup fights. So you can't unless you can really look at it, you won't know the difference. Most of his preliminary fights are real. But when you get into the upper echelons of fights,
Yeah.
they might be cutting each other open and breaking each other's nose or whatever. But the fights are predetermined. And look who Lesnar went against to get that championship. 3 people that was retiring.
Oh, I can see their faces, but I can't think of their names right now.
Frank Mir and 2 other dudes that was about to retire. Wasn't Couture? Wasn't Couture one of them? And then somebody else?
I don't remember.
It was 3 guys that was about to retire that was, guess what? Dana White's best friends. You don't think he was like, hey, check this out. We're going to try to get some money up in here. I know y'all invested in the company. Go out there, fight them, take a loss, get some extra money up under the table. Boost Brock Lesnar up. He was already the most watched pay-per-view guy before walking into the UFC from WWE. He's pulling the wrestling fans from wrestling to UFC to make more money on the pay-per-views. And he's killing the numbers. He's killing the numbers. I'm sorry. I don't think Brock Lesnar can fight to save his life. I don't think he can fight out of what paper bag.
So you think Kofi Kingston could take him based on that?
Because Kofi's from the hood.
All right.
Kofi will
All
fight
right.
for his life.
You're entitled to your opinion.
Actually, Kofi's from Jamaica. Actually,
And
He
that's
is
worse than
from
the United
Ghana.
States.
It
That's worse than the
is.
United States.
you
It
missed the
is.
joke.
From
I
Ghana.
You
Yeah.
missed the joke in that.
I have known some folks from Jamaica, and they would agree with that assessment. Yeah.
They fight like dogs down there. And it ain't nobody to break them up down there. It ain't no court cases down there. You better win or you get a machete.
Oh well, Kofi Kingston is from Jamaica,
Kofi can whoop that ass too.
but Kofi is from
Yes,
Africa.
Kofi
Yeah.
Kingston can whoop that ass too.
Uh,
I'm sorry. I just think Brock Lesnar feeds off of him being big and intimidating looking to get away with a lot of shit.
Yeah, because I'm looking at Brock Lesnar's record now for UFC. He's 5-3-0.
Yeah. Number one, how you gonna get a heavy? This is almost like Tony Khan's booking. How you gonna get a heavyweight title shot that fast?
I didn't follow Lesnar's UFC career because I don't watch UFC, so I cannot attest to that side of Lesnar's skill set. What I do know is that in professional wrestling, you can have a big person versus little person match and make it believable. Brock Lesnar could have given a decent 7 or 10 minute match to Kofi Kingston, and he chose not to. Nyla Rose gave Riho, she did a job for Riho on a couple of different occasions. So Nyla Rose is at least more of a professional than Lesnar is.
Oh hell yeah!
Well,
Oh,
we
hell
know
yeah.
why that Lesnar match was short. We know why that was short. That wasn't on Lesnar. That was on Fox.
Yeah,
Because they wanted Lesnar, and they didn't want Kofi as a champion. Fox wanted Lesnar because they thought he'd bring in more viewers.
Yep.
Well, next match, Bobby.
Yes, next match. Ring of Honor. Samoa Joe and Jay Lethal with a score of 4.2. Ooh. Taking on WWE side, which is the Street Profits versus the Usos with a score of 3.7. Okay. Nicole, go first.
I didn't watch the Samoa Joe match.
Shame on you.
It happens, you know.
I have to go with the Street Profits just by proxy because I didn't watch the Samoa Joe one.
Shame on you.
That's fair. Fair.
That is your homework assignment. Go watch that match.
Somebody send me the link for it and I'll watch it.
Okay. I was just teasing, but if you want to go to air, you know. Rob, go ahead.
Okay, this one is is much harder because the Usos and the Street Profits have been really on fire. The only disadvantages this match has is that A, again, we've seen it before, and B, the Profits and the Usos are practically the only permanent teams on the roster. So what was it? Never mind. Anyway,
Yeah, I know because that threw me off too.
yeah, I know that. Are we getting possessed here? But no, but no, I by a small margin, I'm going to give this to Joe and Lethal because it felt like there was, the stakes felt higher in this match. Lethal and Joe have known each other for years. They've had they've had a limited series, and it's been more limited than the Profits and the Usos. And it's been a while since they've even been in the same ring, and they both delivered pretty damn well. So I'm going to give it to Joe Lethal because of those factors.
Marcus, go ahead.
I'm also going with Joe and Lethal. I thought the last 10 minutes of that match was really good when they really decided to pick it up. The Street Profits Usos match wasn't even as good as the one last month, which I thought was way better. Where Dawkins in particular really stepped up, and I thought that was his best performance. But this match was good. It was decent, but last month was better. So I'm definitely going with Lethal and Joe.
All right. When we talk about matches before versus what they are now, we could put both categories in this for me because I've seen Jay Lethal and Samoa Joe go at it before. I've seen the Street. Well, we've all seen the Street Profits and go at it before. The difference is this. I remember that match with Street Profit with Samoa Joe and Jay Lethal. It's almost an identical match that they did a while back. That bothered me because at least I might be seeing the Street Profits and the Usos again, but they come up with different ways to do stuff. I will give that to them. They are innovative. They switch it up, even though they're the only, I think, wrestlers, period, besides AJ Styles maybe, that can wrestle the same person and the matches look different. So it's real close for me, but I got to give it to the Street Profits and the Usos because they switched. At least they switched it up for me. When I watched the Samoa Joe match, I was telling what was going to happen. I was saying it out loud, and then what was going to happen because I remember this match, but I watched it years ago. It's the same exact match. So, yeah, that's why I gotta go with the Street Profits or whatever. I love the technical ability. I love the technical ability of Joe and Lethal. Everybody knows that. I'm a big Lethal fan. Love that dude, but I'm sorry, you give me the same match again, the same identical match again. You just put just a couple of things that's different versus the Usos and Street Profits that did a lot of things different. I gotta go with the Street Profits and the Usos. All right, and our big time number one slot of the nights here. Ooh, this is gonna be hard, but I think I know where everybody's gonna go. Probably besides me. No, maybe not. I don't know. Number one match of the Ring of Honor card with a score of 4.7. FTR and the Briscoes going against WWE number one match on the card. Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch with a score of 3.9 for Belair and Becky Lynch. Nicole, go first.
I'm going with the girls.
Huh?
I'm going with the girls all the way.
Okay.
Hold on. All the way.
That's it?
Is it working? Yeah. Is it working? I lost sound for a second.
It's kind of delayed.
Yeah, it is a little bit delayed.
Yeah.
All right,
I don't know
Rob,
what
go
happened.
ahead. Mark, you get our technical difficulties.
Yeah, a little bit. Basically, this is the hardest one to determine, and even and if it were a one fall match on the FTR Briscoe side, then I would honestly give it to Bianca Becky. But I can't because FTR and the Briscoes not only had a match of the year candidate, but they had basically 3 different matches in a row for the 2 out of 3 falls. The only real flaw with the FTR match is that the Briscoes didn't get their win back. And I felt that it would have been better had the Briscoes walked away with the ROH belts so that they could, like, branch FTR off, and once ROH TV starts, the Briscoe. But aside from that, as fabulous as the Bianca Becky match was, and I thought it was pretty damn good, the FTR Briscoes had 3 fantastic matches in one, and I just can't overlook that. So I gotta go FTR Briscoes.
Marcus.
I mean, well, we all know where I'm going with this. I mean, and that's not even a knock on the girls' match. I mean, Bianca and Becky really worked well together, and
Yeah.
and I will say it was a good match. Again, I thought the one they had at WrestleMania was better, but it's no knock against them. It's just that I think just the FTR, not Usos, Briscoe match was just classic 1980s tag team wrestling that I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed that it was the only table spot match of the whole entire card. I think that added to it. I mean, that was a hell of a bump that they both took off that with the backdrop onto there. And I love seeing the pile driver off the middle rope. And the fact that was it Mark Briscoe, I think, actually sold it, actually got pinned and didn't kick out. I mean, I'm so tired of seeing guys no selling and kicking out of finishers. I mean, that really disturbs me about today's wrestling. But this was also, again, I agree with Rob. This was 3 good matches in one, and for me, a potential match of the year candidate. So this absolutely was a match of that weekend, as far as I'm concerned.
All right, I'm about to do something controversial here. I have been battling with this since like Tuesday. I'm trying to pick this one. And Rob's right. I mean, they went 3 matches in one. They did. But I also can't get out of my head Bianca Belair and her performance with Becky. Oh my God, that's stepping up. I mean, that's put on one of my size 18 shoes and walking them out. You know, the technical aspect of Becky and FTR the Briscoes are both stellar. It is stellar in both accounts. Honestly, there is no winner in this one, in my opinion. There is no one over anybody in this opinion because, yeah, they did go 3 matches, and I will give FTR and them the Briscoes that. But for Bianca Belair and for Becky Lynch to go to that level and bring it, because it was the end of that story, and they brought it to that height to end that story. It was the perfect timing, the perfect way to win, the perfect moves, the perfect technical aspect, the perfect afterbirth with Bayley coming back and Io Shirai. Perfect people coming back with Io Shirai or Io Sky now. And the other chick, I don't even know who I don't care.
Dakota Kai.
Okay, Dakota can Kai out somewhere else. I like Io Shirai. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh, I was just like, this is like a perfect setup all the way through. From when they walked to that ring, from all the way till when it ended with them standing in that ring and Belly of them left.
Yeah, Bobby. Bobby. The beautiful part here is that you and Nicole are not wrong. You are absolutely, positively right about everything you said about Bianca and Becky. That match was absolutely dynamic. The only, like I said, the only reason that I picked FTR and Briscoes is because they were 2 out of 3. If it had been a singles tag team match, I would have picked Bianca Becky. So you guys are not wrong.
How can I say this? I don't think we're wrong. I just think that you just can't ignore what they did.
Oh no, absolutely not. You can't. They put in the best work of that night. That's why I picked it to be match of the night. They kicked ass. It was beautiful.
Liv Morgan should have had a chair out there writing notes. If you want to be a champion, this is what you got to do.
Yeah. Hell, Ronda Rousey should have been out there taking notes. She should have been like recording the damned match and learning.
I agree.
I think a lot of the division could. And I agree with you. I think the storytelling in that match was really good. And I think they ended that story and started a new one. The transition was perfect. It's just, in my opinion, I just thought their WrestleMania match was just even better.
Yeah, and you felt...
I thought.
Yeah, and you could feel the fingerprints of Stephanie McMahon on that match because she is dying to push the girls again, and doing it this way is a great idea.
Her and Triple H is really trying to step that women's division up.
Yeah, there's hope. There's hope.
We'll be talking about that a little bit later in the broadcast, because there's some things going down that's just, man.
And you can already see it.
Oh yeah, you can see it.
We can see it just on this week on Raw and SmackDown. We can see fingerprints already.
Oh yeah. It's getting better. I'm just trying to see Nicole's.
Nicole is trying.
She's trying to.
Yeah, I think she's trying to get back in, but something may have happened with her laptop. She may have run out of juice or something. Her feed was slowing down a little bit.
I'm thinking that she have like. They got storms going through Chicago right now.
Well, yeah, that's going to happen too.
Yeah, it was definitely raining earlier, but yeah, it stopped. I don't know if it started back up. It doesn't look like it's raining. I can't tell out here.
Yeah. Well, Chicago, when it storms, can be a lot of fun.
Boy,
yeah.
I remember that tornado coming through that at one time. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, we just had a bad storm about a week and a half ago. We had a real bad storm up here.
It's like every 10 years or something, Chicago get real bad stuff.
Yeah.
That'd be cool, and then all of a sudden, another 10 years, and it just blow up again.
So who won the overall, Bobby?
Overall, Ring of Honor wins. They basically dominated, and I kind of figured they would.
Yeah.
It's just the fact of it's sad. It's sad because right now, we thought we was going through a transition period when it came to wrestling at first, because we thought Tony Khan is just going to, get these guys and they're going to run against them. Nobody saw the double switch going on when Vince McMahon was going to leave. And that factor right there, and like I said on one of the podcast episodes before, that bond that Triple H has with those guys making them come back. I mean, you got a lot of them that's going to come back to WWE and leave AEW.
Well, I think it's possible. I just think it depends on what Tony Khan does with them and how much control they let them have in what they do, and just moving forward. Because I'm really, really curious to see what happens when Cody comes back. That's, I think, is going to say a lot. Is Hunter going to carry this grudge, or is he going to do what's a quote unquote best for business? Because right now, I mean, before Cody left, he was the top face in the company without question, and I thought he was definitely headed to face Roman at Roman Reigns unless The Rock came back. I thought he was going to win the Royal Rumble and face Roman at Mania. Is the way I thought it was going. So I'm really, now that Hunter's the man being in charge of creative and talent relations, I'm just really curious to see what happens. I think that's going to affect whether MJF comes and other guys based on what happens with that. I think everybody's going to be watching to see what happens when Cody comes back.
I think that we all made a mistake in assuming that SummerSlam was going to be the measuring stick of whether or not the booking and writing and creative had changed hands yet. SummerSlam was probably already written long before Vince left, and any changes they made during the show were kind of like the afterbirth of what Vince puked out before he decided to leave. So if we were going to characterize SummerSlam as the puke of a mule ruminating on a generator in the middle of the desert, that Vince McMahon placed there, then that would be what SummerSlam would be. I'm not trying to be disgusting. That was just the best analogy I could come up with. But what is the next pay-per-view for WWE?
What's that?
Who knows?
That
I
Castle
couldn't
thing?
even tell you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a minor thing. Survivor Series.
Oh, that's the next big one. Yeah.
Yeah, the next big one is Survivor Series, and I think if things are radically different by then we'll know which direction everything is going to end up going in. Well, we had Nicole back for a minute, but we lost her again. Anyway, we should not have thought that SummerSlam was going to be the measuring stick, because it pretty much looks like the stick was driven in the ground already.
Yeah, I think it was reported that was pretty much Vince's show with some minor changes, I think.
Yeah.
I think starting last week with Raw, moving forward, it's going to be Hunter's show. So I'm curious to see. I'm going to have an open mind for the rest of the year and see what Hunter does and see if the product's any better on that.
Yeah, because Bobby could be 100% right. I mean, depending on how they got the contracts nailed down, there could be a major defection back to WWE from AEW. I mean, they're already talking about Miro being pissed about how he's being used, and I don't blame him. And Bobby could be 100% right. It's just, I don't think it's going to kill AEW. I think it's going to force them to innovate. And that may be a really good thing for everybody.
Well, let's this is something I did want to talk about after. I want to come back to this after.
I'm sorry.
Subject. Yeah, I kind of kicked it off. It's my fault. So the one thing that I wanted to discuss was wasn't the only two shows that on that weekend that came up.
Right.
We also had Ric Flair's last match.
Yeah.
Now I am going to go ahead and play. I'm going to see if Nicole could get on here, but her screen is still what? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and play something from Tony. Even though he celebrated his birthday, he recorded this beforehand to play on the show. He's going to discuss specifically Ric Flair's last
actual match. Yes.
Yeah. Good Lord.
Is it not coming up?
They should. Hold on. There we go.
Okay. You got it muted, Bobby.
But,
there we go.
Have some other plans today. Well, some surprise plans. As of right now, I'm not sure what's going on. But as I'm recording this, I'm 48 years old. By the time you're seeing this, I'll be 49. So, damn, the big 5-0 is coming up there. But I did want to share my thoughts on Ric Flair's last match, because this is something that I requested that we discussed on the show today. But unfortunately, I requested to discuss it on a show that I could not attend. And I apologize to you guys, but I can't wait to return next week. But as you guys know, I love Ric Flair. I'm a huge Ric Flair fan. On my top 3 all-time wrestlers, Ric Flair ranked number 1. My top 5, 10, and it don't matter where you rank my wrestlers, Ric Flair is always number 1 on my list. But I gotta tell you though, when I heard he was having his last match, I was not really excited about it. I had no desire to see it. I would give them all the credit in the world, though. They hyped us up to be something that I wanted to tune in and check out, though. They did a really good job with the promo, the attack in the parking lot. Absolutely love the build up to this. Before I go into how I felt about the match, I will say this as far as the card itself was great. They put together a really phenomenal card. I absolutely loved Jim Crockett promotion, the old school setup. There's so much stuff I loved about this show. But the match itself. Okay. Before I talk about the bad, let's talk about the good. So here are my good comments about the match. And that. Ric Flair's 73 years old. I know. I honestly don't know how the guys on the show, what their thoughts on it. I could pretty much. I'm assuming Nicole probably hated it. I mean, she's not like a Ric Flair person like we are, and the match itself was not good. So I think I'm safe in assuming that Nicole don't really have a lot of positive things to say about it. Anybody else on the show, any positivity that you guys have to say about it, is for your love of Ric Flair, not this match itself. Not the match itself. Not only was the match not good, it was disturbing. It was really disturbing. I mean, Ric Flair looked like he should not have been out there at all.